Hello, my name is Kushankar and my student ID is 588514. And in this video, I'll be explaining all the 10 exercises which I did for my code lab 1. The first exercise is coding the school. So in here, I have declared first variable, which is word1, which is storing coding as a string in it. Then I've declared another variable, word2, which store is in it. Then I've declared a third variable, which is word3, which store all in it. And then I have added this first three variables together so we can get our output as a sentence, which is coding the school. Now let's go on with our second exercise, which is simple sum. So even over here, I have declared first variable, which is num1. Then I have assigned a number to the first variable. I have declared another variable, which is num2, and have stored a number, which is 10. So after that, I have declared a third variable, which is num2, which is storing our both first and second variable. And then I have commanded it to print, and then it will print the addition amount of these first and second variable, which is 80. Now let's go on with our third exercise, which is biography. So first over here, I have stored information in dictionary. Gusharan, it's stored in name. India is stored in hometown, and 18 is stored in age. So after over here, we have stored information in dictionary, but with us there assigned keys. So over here, we have stored the information of name with the value of the name, which is Kusharan, and just like that, hometown with the value of the hometown, which is India. Age with the value of age, which is age. Over here, we have assigned it to print each information on different line with the help of slash n function, which will give us the output in different lines. If we click play, it will display the output. Now let's go on with our advanced requirement of this one. So over here we have asked the user to input their full name, and we have used .strip function, which help us to get rid of the extra spaces around the input. Then we have asked the user to input their hometown, and over here we have used .strip method. We have asked the user to enter their age. If they have entered their age in a non-numerical value, then it will print a message incorrect input. Please enter an integer value for the age. So after that, we have assigned to display all the information collected, but in different lines by using slash n function. If we click play, we have to enter our full name, enter your hometown, India. If I write something like 18, but in non-numerical value, it will display this message. So we have to write in a numerical value. Then it will display all the information in different lines. Now let's go on with our exercise 4, which is primitive quiz. So in here, I have basically made a quiz in which we will ask the user that what is the capital of France. And then if the answer is Paris, then it will display the answer is correct. But if it's not Paris, it will display the answer is incorrect. So if I click play, it will ask the question, what is the capital of the France? If I say Paris, it will say the answer is correct. But then if I say something other than Paris, it will say the answer is incorrect. Now let's go on with our optional requirements. So over here, I have made bunch of quizzes questions. It's the same like the previous one. So here we will ask the user, what is the capital of the Germany? First, it will display a message, welcome and let's check your knowledge. If I click play, it will display the same message, welcome and let's check your knowledge. And then it will ask the first question, which is what is the capital of Germany? So if the user writes the answer Berlin, it will display the answer is correct. But if the answer is other than Berlin, it will display the answer is incorrect. But over here, we are using dot lower function, which will help us to get the answer, even though it will display the answer is correct, even though we are using upper or lower case, it won't matter. Just answer has to be right. Even though we are using dot strip function, which help us to eliminate the empty spaces. So if I write what is the capital of Poland, if I write something in Warsaw, like in it will say the answer is correct, irrespective of upper and lower case. So now let's go on with our exercise 5, which is days of 1. So over here we have stored all of the month number and days number in a dictionary. So over here 1 is a month number of January, and 31st is the number of days present in it. Over here we have assumed that February is a non-leap year, so there are 28 days present in it. So here we will ask the user to enter any month number of the choice, but within the range from 1 to 12. Even over here we have used the dot script method. So if the number of days, the number of month exceeds the limit from 1 to 12, it will display that's invalid. Please enter valid input within each. Or if it's within the limit, then it will display that's valid, and it will just give you how many days are there. If we display non-numerical value, it will display that's invalid into numerical value. So if I write 13, it will display that's invalid. Please enter valid input within the range. So if I will ask for February, means 2. It will say how many days are there? There are 28 days. If I write 13, but in non-numerical value, it will give us that's invalid and to numerical value from 1 to 12. Now let's go on with our advanced requirement for days of month. Just like the previous one, we have linked month number with number of days present in that month. Even over here, we are assuming that February is having 28 days. We are considering it as a non-leap year. So here also we will ask the user to input month number, but within the range from 1 to 12. Even over here, we are using dot strip function, which helps us to eliminate extra space around the input. And over here, the catch is we will ask the user a leap year with question mark. If they say yes, it will display as 29 days. If they say no, it will display as 28 days. If I click play, please enter, for example, I'm going for February, I will go for 2. It will ask us a leap year. If I say yes, it will display how many days will be there in the leap year. So then, if we exceed the limit, it will display that's not in range from the range, which is from 1 to 12. So we must write in a range, and it should be a numerical value. If I write 18, it will display that's not in range. So it should be in a range. So now let's go with brute force attack. So in here, I have defined a correct password, which is accurate password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So over here, if the password is correct, if the user password is the password that we're asking the user to input. So first we will ask to input accurate password according to them. Then if the inputted password is equal to the password that I have defined, it will display the password is correct. But then if it's not the same, it will display that's incorrect, and we have to try it again. Let's try doing it. Accurate password, if I write 1, 2, 3. It will display that's incorrect password, we have to try again. If I click it again, then we have to input the accurate password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep. Now let's go on with our optional requirements for the brute force attack. So in here, just like the previous one, I have assigned a correct password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But the catch is over here we're having maximum number of attempts, which is 5. At the initial one, we will have 0 attempts, and as we go on, it will keep on increasing. So over here, again, we will ask the user to input the correct password, which is according to them. And once it's wrong, it will get hidden. I will show you by playing it. Enter the password. If I say it's 1, 2, 3, the wrong password, it will be hidden, and then we will get more chances. There will be a total of 5 chances, as written over here, max number of attempts, it's 5. And then if the answer is correct, it will say password is correct, welcome. And then if it's wrong, it will go on looping until there are like 5 chances. The 5 chances are gone. And at the last chance, we will get a hint that the password is an integer. If we have finished all of the 5 chances, it will display you have been blocked for a while. So now let's keep playing. Enter the correct password. If I say 1, 2, 1, 2, it will keep on looping. See, in the 4th try, it gave us the password is an integer. But then as we have exceeded the limit, it will display you have been blocked for a while. Now let's go on with our exercise 5. Let's go on with our exercise 7, which is sum counting. So in here, we have to write a loop. So over here, we have to count from 0 to 50 upwards, and then we will increment once every single time. So starting is from 0. We will go from 0 to 51, and then 0. This is the starting, and from where we have to stop. Here, by default, even we're going to be stopping at 50, we have to write it 51. And then how many times it will increment, that's what we have to write over here. So if I click play, it will give us the output. So over here, it will start from 0 till 50, but by default, we have to write 51. So just like the other one, we have to count from 50 to 0 downwards. So as we are going downwards, we have to write it will increment minus one time. And even for this one, we have to write it's counting from 30 to 50 downwards. So 30 to 51, it will increment once every single time. So over here, counting downwards from 50 to 10. Over here, we're counting downwards from 50 to 10, and as we're going downwards, it will say minus 2. It increments minus 2 times. And then over here, by default, we have to write 9 as so that it won't exceed the limit, which is 10. Just like this one, counting from 100 to 200, by default, we have to write 201, and then it increments 5 times every single time, just like that. Now let's go on with our exercise 8, which is simple sum. So here I have created a list containing different strings. So this is our list containing Jake, Jack, Ian, Ron, Sam, and Dave. So then we're going to be searching for an item, which is Sam. So if the search item is in the list, then it will print the search item was found in the list. If it's not there, it will display the search item was not found in the list. As the search item is already mentioned, so it will display the search item was found in the list, as we have already mentioned what we want to find. Now let's go on with our optional requirements. So over here, just like the previous one, we have created a list containing these functions, these strings. So then, but the catch is over here, we will ask the user to input whatever they want to search for. And then if it's there, it will display the search item is found in the list. If it's not there, it will display the search item wasn't found in the list. But over here, we're using dot lower method, dot lower function, which will eliminate upper and lowercase. So if I click play to the search item, if I'm writing Jake, but in uppercase, still it will display the answer is correct, irrespective of upper and lowercase. Now let's go on with our ninth exercise, which is hello py. So in this, I have just fill in the blanks. So over here, it will print hello. With this function, it will print hello to the console. And for this function, it will print to call the hello function. It will just call the hello function. And in the last one, it will tell us, it will tell and it will help if the script is running directly on. So if I click play, it will display hello. Now let's go on with our 10th exercise, which is it even? So over here, first of all, we have defined what is even and what is an odd number. So if we can evenly divide a number, that's known as even number. If we can evenly divide a number, that's an odd number. Then we will ask the user to input a number so we can tell if it is even or not even. And then it will print the result message as we have already told to it. So now if we click play and if we enter a number, for example, I'm writing 4, it will display it's an even number. And then if I write 7, it will display that's an odd number. So these were all of my exercises for my Kotla 1. Thank you.